And hello, everybody. You're live with Sherry Shriner. It's Monday night, October 22nd. If you have any questions for the show, you can send them to SherryTalkRadio at yahoo.com. I've been digging through emails in my box for about the last 45 minutes, just going through all the questions separated from all the junk. You know, I wish half of these emails that have millions of dollars that they want to do business with the United States. I remember at the beginning I used to just send them an email. Here, you can send all donations, and I gave them my address. It'd be nice if any of those people were legit. Folks, we have a bunch of projects coming up, and so I need your help with that, financial contributions. A lot of projects coming up. I've written before on a lot of the things I've done, and I haven't said a word on a lot of the things I've done. And so just know that we're busy, and we need your support to stay busy. We've got, the Lord's weapons that He's given us, this orgone going all over the world, and we desperately need people in the Middle East to stand up. If you know any kind of military that are in Iraq, soldiers that would be willing to just throw some orgone pucks around, let me know, because there are portal entries in Iraq, and I've always believed that's the main reason we're there in Iraq is because of the stargates that's there that they want control of. We can close those down with orgone. We can mess up all of their plans with orgone. I've been across one end of this country to the next, closing down portals and gateways and all the different kinds of ways and access routes that Satan uses to access Earth and that our own military uses to access space. We've had several projects going on for that, and we've got several more coming up. It's almost like I don't know what this orgone's going to do until I get out and do it, and then I see it in the Bible codes. And so it's almost like a confirmation from the Most High, as a lot of things that we're able to accomplish with it. I know a lot of people think it's nuts, and that's okay. I did too, years ago. When the Lord stood me up in 2004, I didn't know what orgone was. I didn't know what any of this stuff was. It sounded new age to me. Crystals? Oh, come on. I was about as far from crystals as anybody could be. I didn't have a thing to do with crystals or anything like that. And, you read heaven, it's like if you have a problem with crystals, you have a problem with heaven because heaven's laden with them and all kinds of gems and jewelries and stones. And it has an effect for the Lord. As the Lord has everything, Satan perverts what the Lord has. And something I've always seen in the Bible codes in relating to orgone is it's ancient and it's biblical. And so that's why I've always kept an eye out. Where is it in the Bible? Because the Bible codes always says that the orgone is biblical. I remember years ago somebody from Africa sending me an explanation and how it related to the Ark of the Covenant. And we all know that the Ark of the Covenant was very protected, that if anybody even tried to touch it, they were knocked down and killed. Because it was the Lord's power that emanated off of this Ark of Covenant. And if you look at the different ingredients that were used for this Ark of the Covenant, and then you look at the ingredients of orgone, and you say, okay, they could possibly relate, and somehow they make some kind of energy that gives it God's power, allows it to emit God's power. And so that's one of the weapons the Lord's given us in these last days. I don't know if it used to be in Scripture. It was a well-known type of energy back then. William Reich even said he didn't invent orgone, he reinvented it. He brought it back out because it was an ancient energy, had already existed. But the problem with that was the New Agers got a hold of it and started using it for their own perverted purposes. And of course, that's Satan's MOI. It's what he always does. Takes anything from the Lord and uses it for his own purposes. And what we're doing is taking it back out of his hands and using it for the Most High's purposes. Because if you look at some of these, I've always stated that it's not the same. All orgone energy is not the same. You can't look at my products online, and I even have a make-your-own page where I teach you how to make it yourself, and compare it to the other products that are online called orgone. If you look at the descriptions of orgonite and orgone generator, and these products are owned by a man named Carl Weltz out of Woodstock, Georgia, and I believe that this is probably the same person that goes by the name Don Croft, who supposedly lives in California. But it's a Carl Weltz that owns these terms for these products. He has them listed as a psychic energy device. Orgone generator being a psychic energy device and the term organite being a psychic energy magnet. And what that is, folks, is demon magnets, demon devices. I've always said that these pagan products welcome demons into your home, and they hurt people and harm people more, and they don't help them. I've known people for years that have. I've even bought some of these pagan products when I first started out to see what they were, and you just get an evil sense of energy in your house. It's a total opposite effect of the kind of orgone we're making. What we make emits positive energy. It's a specific orgone because it emits a specific aura. I've had people tell me that can see into the etheric realms, tell me that when they had their orgone, they could see a rainbow aura emitting, a living energy emitting out of my products. And so we're making a very specific type of energy, and our specific type of orgone will combat Satan and his forces. They will destroy Satan's forces. Satan has millions and millions of these aliens that people refer to as aliens. They're fallen angels. And he's coming to earth. And this orgone will destroy them. You know, a lot of people are always saying, well, the Lord's going to protect us. Well, yeah. But you know what? The Lord always uses people. He always fulfills his plans through his people. And he's using us to stand up and get this orgone out so that we can be protected from Satan and his forces. And it's just one of these last days wars. It's heating up. It's going to get even bigger when Maitreya arrives. We don't have a lot of time left. This Maitreya, this Iran Mahdi that they're touting could arrive. He could come this November. And if he doesn't, we would have 2008 at the latest, folks. So we don't have a lot of time. Once he arrives, he's basically going to implement the war on the saints immediately. And so, Satan has his plans, the Lord has his plans. They use people to implement their plans, Everything behind the scenes, but if it wants to operate on the material scene, our physical scene, they have to use humans to do their bidding, to do their work. Satan now has his humans, his people, his children doing his work through the New World Order, through all the secret societies. He has his hybrid serpent seed-line children busy preparing the world for global government, preparing the world for a global one-world religion. And we've already gotten a taste of what this religion is. Imagine Freemasonry required by everybody in the world, because that's basically what this one-world religion is. Freemasonry. Freemasonry believes that man is a god in the making. And that's exactly what these false beasts are going to tout when they come. That we are all gods, that we can become a god in the making, that this Christ Michael coming, saying he's Christ Michael, he's God, his real name is Hatan, he goes by the name Hatan, self-admitted tall gray alien, and people think he's God, the universe, Nebadon, or whatever it is, give him all these names, that the office Christ is something that you can reach through realizing your own godhood. They have all this garbage connected to it. And so you'll have this Christ, Maitreya the Christ, or the Sananda Asu Emmanuel, who is a Christ. You're going to have all these. That's what Matthew 24 says. It warns, many will come in my name saying, I am. And that I am is exactly that. I am God. I am Christ. And that's what many are going to do. And that's what this New Age movement promotes. That's what Freemasonry promotes. If you read my article, The Serpent and the Illuminati, the big secret, and you go through millions of levels for these secret societies. You have to advance through the ranks. The big secret at the top, when you get to the 33rd, and there's more than 33 degrees in Freemasonry. I have an uncle that's a 33rd. I have one that's a 32nd. And then they go higher than that. They actually go up to 180 or 360, I believe. It went into a complete circle. The big secret is that an alien is the one that's in charge of that society. These tall gray aliens. So you go through all this blasphemy and Bible spitting and idolatry, just to find out that, there's an alien actually sitting at the top of our secret society here. These secret societies aren't so secret. You can usually dig around on the internet and find out anything you want to know about them. Certainly never heard anything from my uncles on the end. So many front organizations for touting Freemasonry as a good works organization. And they will have many, many organizations and lodges where these men